Oracle of Lilith. My name is Amy, and it's so good to have you. I hope you're doing well. Today we're doing a collective message, an Oracle of the Day. We're going to find out what's going on with the collective. All right, give me one card for the collective. What is going on within our collective? All right, I'm going to pull the bottom one. Alone in the world. Oh, you guys, some of you guys are feeling really alone, really isolated. Yeah, I understand. I do. It's hard. The world right now is, although we're all connected by crazy energy of the internet and things like that, the truth is that ultimately we can feel very alone. You know, we're all in our own heads, right? And the reality in our heads and the reality in the world doesn't necessarily meet, right? Doesn't agree. All right, so maybe feeling really alone. You may have broken up with someone or had a fight with someone recently that's just really left you in a state of being really aware of how few people you really have in your life, or few deep connections. You may be longing for a deeper connection here. Whew, let's take a deep breath. Lots of energy coming through for this reading. We have abundance. Boom. Boom. This alone in the world, this hermiting experience that you're having, this is a time of healing. Instead of thinking about this as you're alone in the world, think about this as a time for you to work on yourself and give yourself self-care. If you have been working on something that will bring you money or abundance of resources, it's coming in for you. Okay, it's coming. It's in the works. I'm not telling you it's going to happen tomorrow. Okay, I'm not that kind of reader. I'm not going to lead you down, a path that is not grounded. All right, so there is abundance coming. All right, but it's a work in progress. And part of the work in progress is this alone time, this need to kind of like hermit your energy, to work on yourself, to clear blocks to your abundance, okay? And sometimes you just need to rest, take a nap. You know, sometimes you need to ground your energy. Sometimes you just need to play with your dog. And the thing is that if you're working towards a goal, but you're burning yourself out, you're not going to create the abundance by burnout. That's not how it works. You create lack by burning yourself out because your vessel is moving in lack. Your mental and emotional space is moving in lack. All right. So when you give abundantly to yourself, love, comfort, fun, rest, those kind of things, often that's mirrored back to you from the universe. Okay, let's get some more cards. Tell me more about what's going on with the collective. We have silence, silent retreat. Some of you guys, especially after this holiday, you may just really need some alone time, some downtime. Unplug your phone, unplug from the computer, watch a movie or read a book, meditate, sleep, go on some walks, and also, I'm getting for you guys, don't get caught up in the holiday bullshit, okay? Don't get caught up in, I have to spend $1,000 on my kid for Christmas, or, I have to get them all these presents, or I have to do this, or I have to do that, or I have to make cookies for 12 people, or there's nothing you have to do but take care of yourself. Everything after that is I get to. All right, I get to make cookies for people. It turns from I have to I get to, because your attitude switches when you take better care of yourself. When you start to hold yourself in high regard, the universe can hold you in high regard as well. I'm not saying that's easy, and I'm not saying you're able to hold yourself in high regard all the time. All of us have bad days. All of us we have moments where we don't feel good, okay? But determination is a skill that is honed by getting up and going on after a time where you didn't feel so great about things. You didn't feel so good about things. You may be feeling like, I don't see my way out of this situation. Some silent retreat, some quiet, some meditation will help you get perspective. And I feel like and I think this has come through in a couple of readings, the need for perspective. And it's hard to get perspective on something when it's right in your face, right? You have to pull back and see the whole picture, okay? And I feel like that's what Spirit is saying here. There's something about this abundance, this pathway to abundance, that you are unable to see because your perspective is not grounded, okay? So taking some time to be alone, even if it's 5 minutes a day. I know we're busy, all right, in the bubble bath, in the shower, whatever it is. Take that time to relax, to breathe in and out, to be in the moment. Doing those things will help you gain the perspective that you need. All right, we have restoration. All right, yes. You guys may feel like your energy is very depleted, almost like you're bleeding out this energy, because you are overworking yourself, you are overstressed, you are not taking good care of yourself. And even if you think you are taking good care of yourself, even if you're like, you know what, Amy, I'm meditating, I'm doing all that stuff, well, your body and your mind needs more rest. So it's time for you to look around your life and see the things that stress you out, and see the things that you can change and you can't, and figure out different ways to cope with those situations where it's not stressing you out. Listen, you may have something that has a time constraint that you're like, if I don't do this at this time, I'm going to lose this money. If I don't do this at this time, I'm going to lose this, or whatever. And a lot of times what I used to do with my kids is, let's go to the worst case scenario. What happens if you do miss out? What then? Exactly. Life goes on, right? Life goes on, and somehow it all comes together, and you're going to be okay. All right? There's nothing worth stressing yourself out to the point of burnout for, okay? Because I guarantee you, if you're stressed about the holidays or providing for your children, I'm telling you, there are resources out there available to you. You just have to be able to see them, and it's difficult to see them when you are in a highly stressed state. Okay, so relaxing and I know it's hard, especially when you're stressed out. I know it's hard in a highly stressed state to like get perspective, right? So some of you guys are not sleeping well at night, and it's important that you guys get some sleep. You guys may feel like you're not dreaming. You are dreaming, you just don't remember, okay, because you're so stressed. I feel like your guides, your spirits, your angels, they're really coming in at this time to help guide you to this pathway of abundance. But truly, abundance cannot manifest until you have restored your energy, all right? And I feel like the universe is sending you signs, but you either keep questioning them or doubting them, or you ignore them. And you may be going to tarot readings and getting the same reading over and over from different readers. When that happens, that's 110% your spirit guides talking to you, okay? That's the way it happens. And you need to pay attention to what's being said, okay? I feel like there's something, and it's not that you're going to miss an opportunity, okay? But if you're wondering why something hasn't blossomed for you, I feel like some of you are getting in your own way by not honoring your own needs, okay? And the universe doesn't want to feed you a lot of abundance when you are mistreating yourself, because you might think that's your pathway, that's the way to go. That is not the way to go. The universe wants you to manifest abundance in a healthy way, a way that you can sustain and that doesn't leave because you're overworked and you're drained. If your work is draining you, it's time to reevaluate. Is that really what you still want to do? Has your needs in a job and a career changed? Has your needs in a business changed? Have you changed? Is there something else you want to do? Is there something else you want to focus on? I think it's important in these quiet moments to open up to asking yourself these questions. And sometimes it's hard to ask yourself these questions, because if you've poured your heart and soul into something and then all of a sudden you're finding it unfulfilling, it may be scary to say, hey, I went to school for 8 years. I've been at this job 10 years. And you know what? I fucking hate it. Because it speaks of like, you've outgrown that experience. You've outgrown that education. You've outgrown that job. So now what? You thought you had something nailed down. You thought your life was completely in lockdown and you were going one way and it was going to be stable and good. And you may find yourself in a situation where you're burnt out, unfulfilled, and wondering what it is that will fulfill you. Don't look at that as a failure on your part or your world crumbling down. Look at it as the universe is opening up a new pathway for you, a healthy pathway where you get to be fulfilled, you get to provide for your needs and the needs of your family, and more so. All right? It really is about shifting your view of what's happening in your life. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard. I'm alone a lot, like for real. Like I don't see a lot of people on the daily. I think I see one person on the daily. And it can be a very weird experience to go through life so isolated. But I've learned to shift my focus, and this time of isolation has been a time of growth for me. And I feel like that is something that could really help you. If you look at this as a time to grow, and if you approach it that way, you can open up your consciousness to exploring some of these deeper questions about what's going to make you happy. If you've got that job, if you've got that business, and you're doing well, but you're unfulfilled, that's a powerful question to ask, because you may be asked to make a choice between feeling safe and taking a chance. And sometimes when you gamble, yeah, the stakes are high, but the payoff is even higher. And wouldn't it be great to wake up every morning and do a job that you fully enjoy and you feel like you can express your authentic self, you can excel at because you love it? That's what you deserve. Everyone deserves to have that experience every day, because our lives are just a string of moments. And if we disassociate from moments because they're so unpleasant and we're having a hard time dealing with the realities of our life, we never truly live. And the universe, your guides, angels, whatever you vibrate with, wants you to fully embrace your life. And that means embracing the moments and working through the moments that don't feel so good and understanding why they don't feel so good. All right, I'm getting a download, like a big high-pitched download. So I feel like you guys may start getting downloads about the situation. Okay, tell me more about this. Tell me more about the situation. Okay, we have the Five of Wands. Okay, so I'm feeling like, this is in an area where it's competitive. You're having to fight to build something. You've had to fight to build something. You may be finding at work that, it's almost, I'm seeing the word hostility. Like there may be some kind of hostility at your job. It may be that a job that you loved has all of a sudden turned into something completely different. Or you may have gotten so much responsibilities that it's hard for anyone to do. I worked a job where they took like 4 different positions and put it into one position, and that was my job. So I did the work of like 4 people. Okay, it's hard for anyone to feel fulfilled in a job where you're burnt out because your job description is like, 6 or 7 pages long because a company is trying to save money, all right? And, there was a time that I had to make a choice between my health and my job. And my health demanded my attention. I collapsed because I kept pushing myself in a job where I was overworked. I was highly stressed, and I was trying to do what I could for my family. And I really thought I could keep it together, but my body said no. So if your body is sending you signals of being stressed, of feeling sick a lot, if you have to drag yourself to work and you're crying before you even get there, you stress out every time you see your boss, it's time for you to question the situation, like the situation you're in. It's time for you to open up some awarenesses that there are other things. There are other jobs out there. There are other possibilities for you. It's just hard to see them when your focus is being stable. You want to keep things stable. You want to keep things, foundationally, I want to say flat, because it feels flat. It feels like, yes, we're stable, but we are unfulfilled. We are stable, but we are miserable. Sometimes it's good to have some bumps in the road. Sometimes it's good to, break up a foundation and see what's underneath it. You might find a basement there. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. We have the Six of Swords. Okay, for some of you guys, I feel like it's time for you to move on, especially in a career. So what am I saying here? I'm not saying that you should quit your job. I'm saying that if you've thought about starting a business, start the business, okay? Block out time every week to work on that. If you don't like your job and you want to get more training, it's time for you to look into that, okay? It's time for you to do whatever it is you're called to do. It doesn't mean quit your job. I would never tell anyone to quit their job right now. But it's also important for you to look at your job and see some of the changes you can make on your own that will help you have a more fulfilling experience now. And there may not be a lot you can do, but there are little things like, hey, maybe you can treat yourself to Starbucks, twice a week. Maybe on a Monday morning, maybe that'll help get you motivated, to get you out the door. Maybe it's time for you to buy a plant for your desk or whatever it is, all right? But it's important that you try to make your life on the daily not necessarily, 1,000 times better, but just a little better. Just a little better can make a big difference when you're living a life that doesn't feel good. And I understand this because I understand being committed to keeping stability because I was. And because of that commitment, I almost drove myself. Well, I did. I collapsed. And then I had a lupus flare that lasted for like 6 years, So sometimes when you put stability above your own good and you neglect yourself, the universe throws you a tower. And you're forced to choose. And I had to choose. And, my kids were going to end up without a mom if I didn't do something. And we have the Three of Cups. All right. So I feel like you guys need to have some joyful moments. Okay. You need to enjoy your friends, enjoy your family. If you're alone right now, then you need to learn how to enjoy your own company. Okay, now's the time for you to, whatever hobbies you've wanted to do, whatever books you've wanted to read, do that. Okay. We have the Nine of Pentacles. All right, so this self-care is going to help you. It's going to help you manifest abundance, luxury, happiness, joy. Some of you guys for Christmas, holidays, winter solstice, whatever you celebrate, Hanukkah, you need to buy yourself something. You do. Even if it's just $5, if it's just a bath bomb, something just for you, wrap it up, put it underneath the tree. Treat yourself well. Do for yourself what you do for others. Especially feminine energies are very guilty of just doing so much for their kids or their partners, giving, 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 giving. And then when Christmas morning comes, there's nothing for them. And I don't just mean presents. I mean fulfillment. I mean happiness and joy. Just unable to really connect because deep down inside, you're so unhappy, you're so neglected that you just don't have it to give. It's hard to be happy when, you're drained. All right. So you guys need to give back to yourself. It's really going to help bring in this abundance and success. Okay. And you guys who have been thinking of doing something, y'all guys need to do it. Do it. Start the business. Look into training, whatever this is, because the universe is trying to bring this abundance in for you. All right. There are just a few things that we need to kind of work through first. Okay. All right, that's what I got for you today. I hope this resonated. If it did or it didn't, please leave me a comment in the comment section down below. I would love to hear from you guys. I hope you have a most beautiful day, and I'll see you beautiful magical creatures next time. Bye, guys.